Yeah.
Nice. You got any reason you want to throw at me why I should change my mind?
Yeah, sure, I do. I just have a two premise syllogism or a two premise argument for you.
I hit me with it. I like a deductive argument. Let's hear it.
Okay. Premise number one. An action is good if if the great weight of reasons favors that action. Which, and what I mean when I say that is just there's more reasons that count in favor of doing it than reasons that count against doing it. And
So you're
then
just saying
premise.
like, okay, I want to make sure I understand. You're saying an action is good because of what I want to. I'm actually writing this down. What did you say again?
So the first premise is an action is good if the great weight of reasons count in favor of that action, which can also be understood as saying there's just more reason to do it than reason not to do it. I mean, I
You're
feel
talking
like
about like
it's
just
when,
totality of reasons. Like I could think
yeah,
of 1,000
yeah.
reasons why I should have a slice of pizza, and 400 why I shouldn't. So therefore, it's good for me to get a slice of pizza.
Or sorry, if the greatest weight of reasons count in favor of that action. Yeah, like all that's being
Okay,
said by
so the
this.
biggest reason. Okay, all right. Well, it's not just cumulative that you're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's not just the number, but also like the quality of the
okay.
reasons.
Sounds
So
this
you could
sounds
have
very
like
subjective, but good.
you could have like a billion small reasons to do something, but then if there's like a really big reason not to do it,
You would swing
well,
it the other way. Okay,
right,
that
precisely.
sounds interesting so far. All right, keep going.
And then the second premise is just that in the case of abortion, the greatest weight of reasons favors abortion. You know, like there's many
That's kind
reasons
of
that count
circular,
in.
right? That's kind of
No,
question
has
begging. You're kind of just put it into premise.
well, it's because I think the premise is true. I'd expect you to contest the premise.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't even know if I agree with the first one. I mean, that seems kind of arbitrary. I don't know how you would. What is good to you? Like,
What do you like? Are you asking
like
me if
is
like
it like yeah? You're.
what I mean
There's
by
just so
good?
much
Just
words
something
here. They're
interesting.
loaded. Like, are you talking about like objective? This is objectively good. Like,
Well, I mean, I don't think that my metaethical theory is too concerned with my normative theory, but I
I'm
am an
just curious.
objectivist.
Okay, so you're a moral realist. You think that the weight of essentially you think it's going to have a good reason to do this thing, and the reason is kind of whatever. Like,
No, like we could specify the reasons. Like for my
okay,
second premise, which is in the case of abortions, the greatest weight of reasons favors abortions. I think that is because it's obvious there are many reasons that count in favor of abortion. Maybe emotional
such
reasons,
as
professional reasons, relational reasons, medical reasons, instrumental reasons. And look, I think that maybe there's also some reasons that count against an abortion, like America getting an additional worker or whatever. But I just ultimately think that the
do
reasons
you
that count
think
in
that
favor of
maybe
getting an
someone
abortion
not being
outweigh the reasons that
unalive?
count.
Do you think someone not being unalive would be a good reason?
Okay, so you're saying that like killing the fetus is a reason against abortion. Could you explain to me why you think that's a reason against getting the abortion?
Yeah, well, it's a innocent human being. I'm sure you would apply that rationality to other humans, right?
So do you think that it's always wrong to kill innocent human beings?
Yeah,
Okay, and why do you think it's always wrong to kill innocent human beings?
I think humans have intrinsic moral worth
Because of our species?
because of our kind. Yeah.
Okay, so why do you think our species gives us intrinsic moral worth?
Because we're irrational creatures, we're rational animals, we're moral agents.
Okay, what's a rational animal? Or I guess what's a moral agent?
Like we have the ability to do moral goods or moral evils.
Okay, we have the ability to do things that are morally good, and we have the ability to do things that are morally bad. Do you think that a fetus has the ability to do things that are morally good?
No, my newborn doesn't either. But we are the kind. We're the same
Okay.
kind, right?
Yeah, so okay, so you're saying that the kind has this ability. Well, I mean, we
Like
just specified some
ontology, the
cases.
ontology of who we are. We are the type of creature that can make moral decisions.
So you think it's like in the nature of our species to do this thing?
I mean, we are the kind of creature that can make moral decisions.
Yeah,
Do you
and you'd
disagree?
say, well, I mean, I think that it depends on what your like your metaphysical view is. So I don't think that like our species is necessarily the kind, but what is it about
So
the kind makes
what other species makes moral decisions?
what other species makes moral decisions? Well, I mean, it's like possible to envision another species outside of humans that could make a moral decision. Like for instance,
Obviously,
if
yeah. Like I think of aliens that are conscious. Like I'm saying, are we the kind, irrational kind that makes moral decisions?
well, I mean, I think that like I'm the type of entity that makes moral decisions because
Okay.
of my
Do you think
my
I am?
capacities of intellect. Yeah, I also think that you're the type of kind that makes
Do you
moral decisions
think my
because of your
daughter
capacity of
is?
intellect. I think that yeah, your daughter's the
Okay.
type of kind that
When did my daughter
that
get
makes
this
moral decisions
property?
because of
When did
capacity
my
of
daughter
intellect.
get this property?
I think that your daughter got this property at around 20 through 24 gestational weeks with the emergence of particular brain structures that developed the capacity for intellectualism.
Okay, so it developed the capacity. She didn't have the capacity for this before.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. She didn't have the capacity for this before.
All right, so what if she had a coma and never had this capacity?
Well, I mean, there are many like circumstances where people are in comas where they still do have this capacity. Um, but like maybe let's just imagine like hypothetical where they're in a coma because these particular brain structures didn't like develop or emerge yet, and for that reason she actually does lack the capacity. Well, then the question becomes, what reasons count in favor of killing her, and what reasons don't count in favor of killing her? And I'd say
Well,
in
she
like the
lacks
vast
the
majority of
capacity.
yeah, meaning that
It
she'd
seems
lack
pretty blunt to me under your
so
view.
this means that she would lack intrinsic value, but this doesn't mean that she'd lack instrumental value.
So she would lack intrinsic value. And
Yes,
she
under my
and
view.
she would
But
so like let's just
but
pretend
back to the
just real
argument.
quick,
Let's focus on the
just real quick,
reasons that you have.
real
You said
quick.
it's
So she would
because a
lack
kind has intrinsic
value.
worth.
She would lack intrinsic worth,
Yeah,
even
like your brain
because
definition.
her brain's not functioning right, or her conscious experience hasn't emerged yet. And
Well,
so
it's
let's
because the
just pretend
capacities for
she's in a
intellect haven't emerged
coma.
yet.
Let's pretend the doctors put her in a coma. Let's say technology can get to this point. They put her into a coma. She's born. She's still in a coma, but we know 9 months later she's going to have consciousness. When does she get intrinsic value?
Well, she'd get intrinsic value whenever the capacities for intellect emerge, which would
So
be
maybe
predicated on the
1 year old.
particular brain structure developments.
So like if she, in that scenario, if she's 1 year old, that's when she has intrinsic value.
Yeah, she would have intrinsic value whenever she would exist, meaning that there would be capacities of intellect. But like going
You
back
don't
to the
see the
premise,
issue with that?
no, I don't,
You
because
see
she's
no
still
issue saying a
instrumental value.
1 year old kid that's born who's just had a day before they have a conscious experience has zero intrinsic value. They're literally just a clump of meat.
Remember, it's not about the day before they have a conscious experience. It's about if they don't possess the capacity for intellect. I just think
Well,
that this
she
all
clearly
depends on
has
the
the
answer.
capacity for it. It's just not been realized yet.
But one moment, I think that no, I would argue that they wouldn't have the capacity for it. But I think that this all depends on the answer that you gave.
Say define capacity.
Like a natural capacity would be a future effect that's true of X or has a tendency to be true of X. And the reason why I'd say to lack the capacity is just because metaphysically, I don't think that the entity that exists prior to 20 through 24 weeks is the same entity that exists after that point because of the substantial change in which it undergoes, changing the essential attributes of the nature of the thing.
You're saying that at 23 weeks, zero intrinsic worth. 23 weeks, 1 day, zero intrinsic worth. 2 days, 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this magic thing just happens inside this little thing we call a human being that gives them intrinsic worth, according to you.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not like a magic thing, but anyways,
it does sound kind of
focusing
magical.
back on premise.
You're just making it as arbitrary as possible. I'm saying let's not be arbitrary with human rights. Right?
But focusing on like the reasons that you have. There's nothing arbitrary about it.
Do you not think that yours? Who has human rights that are more arbitrary, you or me?
Who has human rights that are quote unquote more arbitrary, you or me? I don't even understand what that question is asking.
So arbitrary, like I know you'd probably know the definition of arbitrary, like right, like when I just said 23 weeks, 1 day, you're like no intrinsic worth. 2 days, no intrinsic worth. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's arbitrary. It's literally it's a degree property or some spot where you could just say, yep, human beings have intrinsic worth. I am saying it's of the kind that their whole entire life, you began to exist at conception. I would say you have actual real worth and value intrinsically.
Oh, yeah. Why? Why do we have intrinsic moral value?
Because you are of a kind that can make moral decisions.
Okay. And why is being of a kind that can make moral decisions give us intrinsic value?
because I believe I don't. Are you a moral realist?
Well, I don't know why you're asking me if I'm a moral realist when I'm
Because
asking you
I'm
why
a
you think
moral
that we are the
realist.
kind.
We are the kind morals. I think morals are objectively true in reality.
Ah,
They're rational, and we are the rational kind that makes moral
okay.
decisions. I've said this before to you.
Okay. So what's the argument for why being a human being makes something intrinsically valuable?
Well, why is moral
It seems
realism
irrelevant.
applied to human beings?
I'm just asking you for what the argument is for why being a human makes something intrinsically valuable. Yeah.
So why? Well, you mentioned it earlier that you believe in intrinsic human worth. I could ask you that same question. So we both
Well, that'd be a
agree.
deflection.
We're just pushing it. I'm just
That
pushing
seems
it
like a
the least
deflection, though.
arbitrary. I'm pushing it the least arbitrary amount. You
So
are being
saying something
arbitrary
isn't
with your human
arbitrary is
worth.
not. So saying that something isn't arbitrary is not an argument. So what's the argument for
No,
why
I'm
being a
saying
human
we
being
should
makes
be
something
when we
intrinsically
apply
valuable?
these things, we should not be arbitrary.
Okay, cool. Now what's the
Do you
Well, I mean,
agree?
it's all.
You sound like you believe in logic, being logical. Do you
Yeah,
think we
yeah,
should not be
yeah,
the arbitrary is
yeah.
a bad thing, right?
Listen. I agree that we shouldn't be arbitrary, but an argument would
Cool.
be
All right.
arbitrary
So,
if it's
all right,
circular.
stop real quick.
So
You
I'm just
agree we
making
shouldn't
sure
be
that your
arbitrary.
arguments.
You
Yeah,
agree we shouldn't be
an argument
arbitrary.
is arbitrary if it's
All right.
circular. So I'm
So
just
you
making
why
sure the
are you
argument's
being
not circular.
arbitrary
What's the
with
argument?
probably the most important thing
Why are
there
you
is
why are you
this idea of human
shifting? I
rights?
don't. Point number
Why are
one,
you
I don't think I am being
arbitrary with
arbitrary.
this
Point number
idea
two,
of
I think that
this
you're being
important
arbitrary because I think that
idea
your argument is
of human
circular.
rights? Why are
Okay,
you
point
arbitrary with this?
number one, I don't think I am arbitrary. Point number two, I think that you're giving an arbitrary
How are you
argument
not
because
being
it's circular.
arbitrary? You literally are giving me
Why are
the
why are
exact
you
amount
ignoring
of
the facts?
days. You're giving the exact amount of days where my daughter got intrinsic worth.
Well, why are you ignoring the fact that your argument for why being a human is something that makes us intrinsically valuable was because they are a human and therefore they have
Okay, so I
intrinsic
believe in
worth?
objective
Do you
morality. I'll try
acknowledge
this
that
again.
saying
I'll try this
humans
again. I'll
have
try this
intrinsic
again.
worth because
I'll
they're
try this
humans
again. I'll try this again.
is circular?
Okay. I believe in objective morality. I get that you don't believe that. I don't care. I believe in objective morality. It's a rational thing we assent to. We are the kind of people that can assent to this moral reality, and we are the type of person that has this rational assent. That applies to us ontologically, who we are as a species. And so to arbitrarily say, hey, at X point, this human being has this intrinsic value is ridiculous. This is what arbitrary human rights are, the precursor to every single human atrocity in our history.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a very clear question here. How does a meta-ethics make your argument non-circular?
Non-circular? How does a moral objectivity make my argument non-circular?
Yup. Because I seem to call your argument circular,
So you
and
think
then I
everybody that's
demonstrated how it
moral
is circular.
objectivist? Do you
And
believe
you're like,
everybody that's a
I'm a
moral
moral
objectivist is
objectivist.
being okay? So why are you disagreeing with me?
Well, what I'm telling you is that your argument seems to be circular because you just seem to be saying that humans have the intrinsic worth because they're human, which in other words is just saying because they're human, therefore have
I've
intrinsic
told
worth.
you over and over.
Okay? And then I asked
I told you.
how
Okay,
this
real quick.
argument
Let's
is not
rewind the
circular.
clock. Let's rewind the clock. Did I say that we are the kind that can appeal rationally to this moral ontology, right? Yes. I've told you over and over why I believe this. This is not some ridiculous claim.
Okay, so I just want to be clear that you're saying human beings are intrinsically morally valuable, and because we are the kind that can like engage in rationale, but then your explanation of why we're the kind that can engage in rationale is because we're human.
We have rational agency. We can actually think and use reason. And
Okay.
it's a plane of things that are moral decision making. Animals do not have that, as far as I can tell.
Okay, so to further clarify, your argument for why we're intrinsically valuable is that because we're reasonable.
Because we can use reason, yes, because morals if they're real, they seem to be rational in nature. We are rational agents. Now hold on.
Just to clarify.
So I want to clarify your position. You believe in the exact same thing I do. You're just placing it 24 weeks, and I'm placing it the entire life.
I'd like to clarify.
You agree with me in intrinsic value. You just kick it on. You just turn off and on at some point of whatever characteristics you want to say someone has a human right. I'm just saying we should not do that. That is not as arbitrary. That's the least objectively logical thing you can do.
Okay, so the first thing that I say is, yeah, there seems to be something that I find of value in me. There seems to be something that I find in value of you. And I would assume that I probably have a normative theory to back it up, unlike yourself. But regardless, my answers don't make your response non-circular. Okay? Right? So just to clarify, when you say that the reason why humans have intrinsic value is because we're of a kind that can engage in reason, and then you ultimately say, well, guess what? It's because we're human. That would be a circular argument.
So, all right, I'll try this again. So, I believe in objective morality. It sounds like you do too. Where you get that from, I'm very curious where that comes from. What is the grounding of your objective morality?
The grounding for my objective morality is completely unconcerned to the reasons that I just gave you, insofar as why your argument is circular, because you're presupposing the conclusion.
If you have literally no grounding or no like reason for your objective morality, I don't care what you have to say.
Oh, wait, that's a pretty big blunder. I didn't say that I don't have grounding for my metaethical view. I said that the grounding for my metaethical view is completely unconcerned with the reasons why your position is circular.
You're saying I'm circular. You're just saying it's a brute fact. I'm curious, where the hell do you get your brute fact from?
And I'm curious why my mom left me when I was 9 years old. But seemingly, these two curiosities that you have and I have are completely irrelevant to why your argument is circular.
Okay, go ahead and tell me how I'm being circular again, because I missed the boat. Because I am saying that morality is objective. You seem to agree with me. Morality is rational. You seem to agree. I don't know if you agree with me or not. You seem to agree with me. We are. Do you not? Do you disagree?
Oh, sorry. No, that was just a cough. Anyways, the argument is circular because you're saying that humans are intrinsically valuable because we're of the kinds that can engage in rationale.
That would be question.
And we're of the kinds.
I'm not like you. I'm not starting off with the
because we're
premise.
humans.
I'm not like you. I'm not question begging. I'm saying morality is objective. It is rational. We are of the kind that can rationally assent to this moral realm. That is not. There's nothing in there. That is literally a deductive syllogism like you just gave me.
Okay, you're just simply not tracking. Okay, you're just simply not tracking. You're tracking very poorly.
Premises, dude.
You seem to just be tracking poorly. Okay, for the last time, I asked you for your argument for why humans are intrinsically valuable, and then you said it's because we're a kind in which is rational. And then I asked you, why are we a kind in which is rational? And then you said, because we're humans. The circularity in your argument.
Because we are of a kind that is rational. Human beings are of a kind that is rational.
Okay, and why are human beings of a kind in which is rational? Why are human beings of a kind in which is rational?
You broke up. Sorry, what'd you say?
Okay. And why are human beings of a kind in which is rational?
Why are human beings of the kind which we're at? I mean, we just are. I don't know.
We just are. Yeah, exactly.
That has nothing.
You just did it
why,
again.
You're asking
you just
why
did
are
it again.
we...
The kind is valuable
you're
because of the kind.
Me, why are we...
we just are, bro. It just, yeah. No, humans are valuable because we're humans. The kind is valuable because of the kind. Okay, yeah, it's valuable to be of a kind of a higher level of rationale because the kind is of a higher level of rationale. Is that just? Are
you done? Are you done?
I just want to clarify. Is that the argument that the kind is valuable because the kind is valuable?
You asked me. You just tell me when you're done with your supposed victory lap, and I'll tell you why I think you're being ridiculous.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm done. I mean, I could repeat the circle another 5 times if you like me to. I don't mind.
All right, I'll just talk over you. You asked me why are we the kind that is rational? I don't know. We evolved that way. What answer do you want? God made us. Like, what are you trying to trap me with something? I don't understand the question. Like, why are we the way we are? I don't know. We are the kind of person that can use our reason and intellect to realize some things are immoral and some things aren't. That seems obviously true. And you are being arbitrary. You're agreeing with me, but you're saying, at 23 weeks, this creature, this biological creature. Hey, I'll get stuck. So you're saying at 23 weeks and 6 days, this biological human being is just a clump of worthless, intrinsically useless cells. At 24 weeks, it magically gets this right. We call human rights intrinsically to you. For what reason? It sounds like the brain structure, the physical neurons in your brain hit this certain point where you think they have human rights. Do you not see how freaking ridiculous that is?
Okay, well, A, I don't think there's anything ridiculous with my argument. And B,
you don't think being arbitrary with human rights is ridiculous? How
I don't
many
think that my
neurons?
argument
How
is
many
arbitrary with
neurons?
human
How
rights.
many neurons does it
One
take
moment.
for?
One
Well, how
moment.
many neurons does it take
One
for
moment.
someone to have human
Oh,
rights?
okay. A, I don't think that human rights are dedicated or presented because of the levels of or the amount of neurons inside of a brain.
Well,
And
you
B,
seem to
once
bring that
again,
argument up before.
well, you seem to be interrupting me. You know what I think is
You brought it
ridiculous?
up
The
before,
circularity.
dude.
You know what I
You
think is
brought it up
ridiculous?
before. You said something about the structure of the neural pathways or something. That seems as though you're saying your personhood, your rights are tied to the 3 pound of gray matter between your ears. Do you not see
Okay.
the ridiculousness of that?
A, that's completely irrelevant to my claim because once
That's
again,
what
my
you
claim.
said. You
Okay, I
literally
don't.
said that.
Okay,
You
I think that
probably
there's a
have this
couple.
recorded. I haven't recorded. We can go back and play it.
There's a couple things I'd like to clarify on as soon as you're done interrupting me. Every time I open my mouth, just let me know when I'm good to go.
Well, you're just saying a bunch of ridiculous. You're spewing a bunch of ridiculous stuff.
Okay, and by the way, I'd like to
Go ahead.
clarify the reason why that's irrelevant to my claim is because my claim is that your argument is circular. Because once again, your claim is that our kind is valuable
My
because our kind
claim
is
is
valuable.
that you are being arbitrary, and then you are not even answering it. I'm at least
Okay.
trying to
How
attempt to answer
am I being how am I being
your attack on
arbitrary?
me.
How am I being
You're
arbitrary? Listen, bro. Listen, bro.
You're
Listen,
saying
bro. How
you're
am I being
applying-
arbitrary by pointing
Oh,
out
God.
that how am I being arbitrary? Nice response. How am I being arbitrary by pointing out that your argument is circular because you're saying our kind is valuable because of the kind?
I'm saying your view of human rights is arbitrary. I think I've made that abundantly clear.
Oh, okay. So you're not engaging in my claim then.
I made a defense for why I believe that human beings are the rational.
You're lost, dude.
It's hilarious.
Well, I'm not.
So
whoa.
I'm
not
saying
asking
we
you to
are the
defend why
kind of human beings
You're so
that
lost.
can
You're not
assent to
tracking.
moral claims. And then you said, I'm at least saying that's not. It's clearly not circular. I'm not question begging like you are. Actually making an argument. You earlier said exactly this. What I did. That human beings have intrinsic worth, but you're just pushing it back instead of conception. Not 7 days, not 8 days, not 10 weeks, or whatever. What number was it you said?
We're talking about
real quick.
I don't know why you're asking me questions. Given the fact that
what number was it you said when human beings get human worth? Chad, you guys remember what he said? I think it was like 23 weeks.
What is the number of how many times I'm going to have to repeat my claim in which your argument is circular in order for you to engage?
Do you remember what it was?
Do you remember the basic principles of debate and how to engage in a claim? Why are you not engaging in my claim that your argument is circular? Because you're saying that our time is valuable because of our kind.
Weeks? I think you said 21, 22, 20. It's something. And it's like, I can't remember what it was.
All right, bro, let's just cut to the chase. Are you going to engage in the claim that your argument is circular because you're saying that our kind is valuable because of our kind?
Anymore, it's not circular. Do you want me to defend the premises to you like that?
Hi, bro. I'm gonna try.
Morals are objective.
I'm gonna try one last time.
That was my first claim.
I'm gonna try one last time.
Morals are objective. They are rational. We are the kind that can rationally assent to moral, like the moral facts. Like, how is that circular in any way?
Why does being of that kind make you valuable?
So you're saying why does people have intrinsic worth? It seemed to apply to human beings.
Why
right?
being of that kind?
If I believe,
you're doing it again, bro.
I'll break it down.
You're doing it again, bro. You're doing it again, bro. Why is being of that kind make you valuable?
What do you think objective morality applies to? Who do you think?
Why do you think that your meta-ethical view makes your normative claim non-circular?
Who do you think moral objective morality applies to? Who do you think moral objective morality applies to? I'll unmute you now. Who do you think objective morality applies to?
What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
Objective morality applies to? Does it apply to turtles?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Does it apply to this chair behind me? Does it apply to my pen?
Okay.
Who do you think it applies to?
I'm gonna try to slow this down and say this one last time.
Let's try this again. I'm gonna ask you a simple question. Who do you think objective morality applies to?
Objective morality applies to people that can do good or bad things.
Okay. People. What species is this people?
What species is this people? I don't care about the species of the person. If it's a person.
Easy question. What species? What kind are these people?
Objective morality would apply to any person. regardless of
Okay,
their species.
what species do you think we're talking about in this conversation?
But you just told me that we're talking about people, not species. What are we doing?
What species do you think I'm talking about that this applies to? That
Well, you're
you are
talking.
aware of, like in your world,
Do you think that a person
what
is defined by their
species, what
species?
animals have this ability to reason like this?
Wait, well, I'm sorry. You're so confused. Are you talking about people or a species? Because if you're talking about a
What
species,
kind?
then are you saying
What
that a brain dead
kind?
patient
What
can engage in
kind?
wrongdoings?
What kind of ontology? What kind of let's see, essence is this person?
Oh, why don't you go ahead and define essence?
Essential properties that make something what it is. So what
So then you're
is
asking me,
what is it seems as though I think you obviously know it's human being. It's me and you. We're doing it right now, right? We're using reason to make moral claims, right?
hi, bro. All right, listen. I appreciate you
Yeah,
so
I'll let you
much
know.
for not addressing the
I'll let you know.
circularity in the argument. Oh,
I let you know that you probably don't know this, but me and you are of the same kind. We're called human beings, right?
okay. I understand that you continue to
We
mute
are.
me.
We are.
I'm going to try to repeat this for
I'm
you.
not muting you. I'm not muting. It's not me doing it. I'm let him talk. I'm not muting you, dude.
Hi, bro. I'm going to try to repeat this for one last time. You continue asking me these. You continue asking me these questions.
These complicated
about
questions.
The kind of,
Yeah. What kind of thing are you? You can't answer it. You don't know. You're a human being. Do you make moral decisions? Yup. When did that begin to happen? I don't know. 5, 6, 7 years old. That's probably when moral intuitions kick in. And you're saying, I'm saying it doesn't matter. Obviously, you became a moral agent at 5, 6 years old. Doesn't mean you have moral worth at that time period. You're for some reason saying it's 23 or 24 weeks or 22 weeks, whatever arbitrary number you want to just pop out of your mind. I'm saying let's not be arbitrary and just apply it to the same kind. You are this kind of person that can make these assents to these moral claims. This is not a complicated argument.
bro.
It's not.
Are you
circular.
absolutely horrified of being wrong?
I'm not muting you.
Are you
I am not muting you.
Are you deathly afraid of being exposed to circular? Because every single time I try to open my mouth
The
and
freaking hell is what well, whoever's muting him, stop. I don't mind that Dean is allowed to talk. I'm not doing this. I'm not muting this guy.
Are you deathly afraid of being exposed to
circular?
Are you deathly listen? Are you deathly?
Yeah, I'm so scared. Okay. I am so scared. I just told 600 people my syllogism. Please go type it in or go ask a philosophy professor if what I said is circular. It is not. What you said, what I wrote down, is the definition of circular. You're just freaking question begging, dude. I don't even know where you get your morality from.
Are you excruciating? Dude, listen. Okay.
I am not.
Three words I want to be able to get out without anybody muting me and without you interrupting me.
Take it easy.
Listen. The claim. Oh my goodness. The claim that I've been making since the very start of this conversation until right now has persisted and has been the exact same. The claim that I have made is that the circularity that exists in your position is about the value that you give to this species. You've continued to talk to me about your metaethical view. Your metaethical view does not account for the circular. No. Let me spit it.
You give value to them too.
Let me finish. Holy cow. To restart from the top, because you're rambling, because you won't let me speak, because you're terrified.
I'm the one rambling.
Okay. Yes, bro, because I haven't been able to speak. Have you noticed that? How I haven't been able to say more than 4 words? So to restart, the claim that I've been making since the very start of this conversation has been very clear, is that your argument insofar as why you believe our kind is valuable is circular. In response, you've brought up your metaethical view of being an objectivist. Your metaethical view does not account for why for why your argument for why our kind is valuable is circular. You then went on to ask me, well, and to which things would objective morality apply? My answer to your question doesn't account for your circularity. You then went on to say that I value our species. Regardless if I do or don't, this doesn't account for the circularity in your argument. Once again, the circularity in your argument is that you think that our kind is valuable because of our kind. You can't say that you think our kind is valuable because of your kind, because you are
Phil,
presupposing that the
I
kind is
have this
valuable.
recorded. I'll go back and I'll watch it again. And I think everybody that's watching, I didn't say any of that. So you're just lying.
Hi, bro. Thanks for playing, pal. I mean, there's just nowhere to go from here. There's just genuinely nowhere to go from here. If you think that the kind is valuable because of the kind, just like go back and take notes, bro. Yeah, when you rewatch the VOD, just go back and take notes.
I actually took your notes.
Dude, good bro. Good bro. I'm happy that you did. I hope that you learned something.
Where do you get your morality from?
Dude, listen. I get my morality from the place that you don't. And that place is non-circular.
Okay, where is that?
A place completely unrelated to the circularity in your argument.
Okay, where is that?
Well, I just told you. I just told you. A place that is completely unrelated to the circularity in your argument.
So you can't tell me what it is? Is it a secret?
Well, I mean, of course you have no idea where it is. And that's presently clear by the circularity of your argument.
It's completely obvious.
Of course you don't know where logic is at.
You don't have any
Of course
idea.
you don't know where morality
You could just say.
Of course you don't know where any of these things are.
You can just say
based upon the circularity of your argument.
You could just say I don't know.
Okay. Well, I would actually be down to address it with you once you could address the circularity in your argument.
All right, man. I don't know how to tell you any different, buddy.
Bro. Yeah. Listen, man. Thanks for playing, bro. I think we're done here, man. But thanks for playing.
Good night, man. Appreciate it. That was wild. If you're here, I know that was Dean. Give me a follow. Give me a like.